All right, so for right now, we're up nice and tall. We have a nice athletic stance. And what I want you to think about here is just creating tension in the body. All right, so you're making fists, shoulders are down and back, knees are soft, but you have intent through the body. You're just breathing. For right now, I want you to try to find every muscle you can in the body. All right, get to know those abs, those obliques, squeeze those glutes, squeeze those quads, hamstrings, everything you can get. Forearms, fist. Give me a couple of breaths. Don't hold your breath while you find these tension points. All right, we're going to break apart some parts of the body and move them around a little bit while we continue to hold the tension to the body. We're going to start off with that neck. So I really don't care which direction you go first, but I want you to start making circles with your neck. But whatever direction you chose, you're going to maintain that direction for the next 30 seconds. You're not going so far that this hurts, you're causing pain. We're still breathing. We're still trying to create tension in the body, through the belly, through the glutes, through those hands. If you're barefoot, you're trying to grip the floor. Even if you have shoes on, try to grip the floor. You're in that standing position. And then once you're ready, go ahead and change directions. If you were alternating that neck rotation, just continue to alternate. But if you're with me, you've changed directions compared to where you were at the very beginning. Still breathing, just getting that neck nice and loose. You're not going to where you feel pain. All right, once you finish up that rep, let's lock that neck back in. All right, so we've got that tension back. So now we're going to think shoulders. Everything else is locked in. All we're going to do is go up and back. You're just giving me repetitions for about the next 30 seconds of up and back. Nice and strong. We're not going forward just yet. Everything else is still locked in. We're still gripping the floor with those feet. We're still strong through the top of the head. It's just those shoulders going up and back. We're still breathing. All right, once you finish up that repetition, same thing. Now we're just going to go up and forward. Now we just change the direction of that shrug. We're still going up, and we're collapsing the shoulders forward. Still nice and strong in the rest of the body. Got about 10 more seconds on that shrug. Excellent. All right, let's lock those shoulders back in. We want to think about relaxing the middle of this trunk. So everything from pretty much lower chest down through the hips. Before we do that, I want you to go ahead and give yourself a hug. All right, much like the neck, I don't care which direction you go first, but I want you to start making circles and stay with that direction for the next 30 seconds. Hips are not moving. We're working our way back, going to the side, or working that lateral bend, going back forward a little bit. Getting some blood moving through that trunk, through that upper torso. And you don't have to go super fast here, especially if it feels good off to the side, or you feel more towards the front in that low back, wherever you need to be to make this movement be for you. And then once you finish up that repetition, let's go and switch out directions, much like the neck if you were going alternating. Just continue to go alternating. Now change the direction. If you find yourself picking up speed, just make sure that you're not losing those tension points. Feet are still gripped into the floor. Neck is still strong, even though it's traveling with that upper torso. Let's finish up this last rep. Excellent. All right. We're going to take tension to the body. Now we're going to unlock those shoulders. So shoulders, at least one is going to move. I'm going to move my right. If you want to go left first, you're more than welcome to. All right, everything else is tight. We're going to reach that arm out in front of the body, reach it up nice and high, take it back, reach as far back as we can, and then take it back up high, bring it back out in front of the body. So unlike the neck and the upper torso, we are going to alternate. So you're not going to give me a full circle. You're going to reach back, and then going back to the sky, back out in front. Make that arm as long and as heavy as you can. I really try to get that shoulder to open up. Get about 10 more seconds on this side. And let's go ahead and switch. Lock that right shoulder in if you're with me. We're going opposite side. 30 seconds. You can make that arm, if you're on that left side, make that arm as heavy as you can, as long as you can, and have as much intent in this movement as possible. Excellent. About 10 more seconds, and then we're going to get out of this tension mentality, get into a little bit more of our stretch, and finish up that rep. Excellent. Y'all go and shake everything out for me. All right, get a little loose again. All right, we're going to go ahead and take it down to the floor. You're still strong in the upper body, but I don't need you creating max tension at this point. All right, we're going to go to a quadruped position. So hands or knees are on the floor, hands are at your shoulders. We're still strong in that upper body, but you don't have to take max tension here. All right, I'm going to go left leg first. What I'm thinking about here is taking that heel to the sky, and then I'm going to rotate my leg out, and then sweep back in, and then rotate leg back out to the side, coming back to that reach, and back. I'm going to change the camera view a little bit just so you see that lateral move. Taking heel to the sky, rotating hip, bringing back in, rotating hip out, dropping to that knee to that heels back to the sky, and then tucking back under. All right, so we're just moving through that left hip. Of course, if you picked the right side first, that's absolutely fine. We'll even things back out. Ooh, got a little sloppy there. And heel to sky, rotate knee out, and rotate leg back out. Drop the knee, heel to the sky, and tuck back under. Give me one last strong rep here. Excellent. Reset. All right, I'm going to change the camera angle just a little bit, or my angle. Switching over to my right side. I'm going to take heel to sky, rotating that knee out, tucking that leg back under. Leg goes out, dropping the knee, heel to sky, tucking back. Yes, tension is good in the body, much like we did earlier. We want to make sure we are maintaining our positions. However, let those hips move a little freely. We're trying to get things loosened back up at this point. We're just trying to make sure this doesn't go into the low back. So don't reach that leg so far that your low back collapses. Your one last good rep. Excellent, y'all. All right, take a quick breath for me. We're going to get into some static holds. I'm going to encourage static holds, but if you need to add movement to any of these next few stretches, just to be able to enjoy it or to get your body to loosen up, add that movement. This is about you. This isn't about what I'm just telling you to do. Listen to your body. All right, so let's go ahead and get to our plank position. All right, we're going to step that right foot outside of right hand. I know easier said than done, but let's try to get as comfortable as we can here. All right, so again, that right foot's up front. All right, once we get here, I want you to take that left hand on the ground, and we're going to open up to our right, opening up that chest, right hand to the sky. I'm going to pivot around here in a second just so I'm not talking to you through my back. And we're going to maintain about a minute in this position. If you need to add a little bit of rock to it, a little bit of movement to it, or even come out of it, you can. Right foot is forward, right hand's to the sky. We're strong through that left hand. We're breathing. We're trying to get the hips to open up a little bit in this movement. You're going to start doing that hamstring, working that right side. We're not forgetting to exhale. Got about 20 more seconds here. We are going to stay on the side and get to more of a hamstring stretch. If you that are familiar with our world's greatest stretch, you're going to be pretty familiar with this next move. Much like this one, it can be intense, so I encourage movement if you need it. Let's bring that right hand down. Let's rock back that heel. You're going to pull that right hip away from that right heel, and you're going to breathe. If that's too much, take that foot flat. Just give me what you can. Okay, even being in this bent leg position, you can still challenge that hamstring. But if you can rock that hip back, really elongate that right leg, you're here with me, you're breathing. Trying to get that chest as proud as possible, trying to get that back as flat as you can. And if that static becomes too much, you want to add in a little bit of a hip rock or a little bit of a shift, you certainly can. Breathe. If you've lost that stretch, try to get that intent back. We've got about 10 more seconds. And let's slowly start coming out. Taking that right hand back inside the right foot. Let's slowly take that right foot on back. You can sit back in a child's pose or just drop those knees real quick. I'm going to pivot back around so I'm not talking to you through my back. We're going to get that left foot on up once you're ready. Get comfortable here first. And then once you are set up, we're taking that left hand to the sky. We're spending about a good minute in this position. Hopefully you feel a little more comfortable on this side. As we've gotten that right side, we've gotten some benefits of the hips opening up by now. Open up that T-spine, that lumbar. We're staying strong in that right hand. We're not just letting the wrist collapse. We're actively gripping the ground. Reaching that left hand as high as you can. Chest is proud. Got a little under 20 seconds left here, and then we're going to transition back to that hamstring stretch. I'm going to encourage you to go as straight leg as possible, but if you need to do that bent knee again, you can. And let's lower down that left hand. And we're going to pull that left hip away from that left heel again, making that left leg as long as possible. We're going to spend a good minute here. You can toy with this one a little bit as well. If you don't quite feel it as intense as you like, or if it's too intense, you can pivot those hips around. I know if I internally rotate my hips, I start to feel that hamstring stretch a whole lot more. For me, typically, groin and thigh area is a little bit tighter for me compared to the outside of my hip, at least on my left side. Got about 30 more seconds here, and we're going to be finishing off with our combat stretch today. So really working on those Achilles. We've worked everything from neck through hips so far. Last joint that we really need to get is going to be those ankles. And Let's go and slowly start relaxing, taking that left hand back inside, taking that left foot back. If you want to throw in a quick little downward dog or child's pose, sitting those, dropping those knees down, sitting those hips back, you certainly can, just to get everything kind of reset. All right. Once you're ready, we're going to come to a double kneeling position. A lot of you have done the combat stretch with me before, so hopefully you're familiar with it. We're going to start off with that left foot forward. I want you to take that right leg and just kind of bring it across. So we're pretty stabilized here. We've done this one recently. A lot of that weight right now is in that back leg, so I can technically take my left leg up and not fall over. All right, once I'm in this position, the heel stays on the ground. I want to shift forward. I'm going to shift that knee over my foot. Okay? Little side angle here, shifting forward, but heel is staying down. Okay? Once I'm in that position, I kind of hit my in range, my heel's still down. I'm pulling, now I'm going to pull my big toe up as hard as I can. As I work through that, I'm going to feel the front of my shin really start to turn on, almost a little bit of a crampy sensation. No pain, just it's talking to you a little bit. Hold it for about a breath or two. And then whenever you're ready, you can rock back. And we're going to work this at your pace over the next minute. I really don't recommend holding this one for an entire minute. I really try to get max intensity out of that toe pull, feel that shin turn on, and then rocking back. If your knee doesn't go as far over your toes, you don't have as much flexion in the ankle, that's absolutely fine. If you have any more, wonderful. But you still want to go and pull those toes up, and we're going to encourage that Achilles to lengthen, which is going to help out our squat depth. It's going to help out our gait and our walk and our run. Okay, roughly 15 more seconds here. Whenever I'm doing this for my own workouts, I really like to focus on just 5 strong reps. As far as class today, we've been focusing on about a minute. But for your own workout, if you do want to incorporate this into your workouts before your lifting sessions, for your squats, 5 reps is my recommendation. Let's go ahead and relax that left leg. Let's take that right leg back up in front. Left leg comes across. Again, while we're setting up, majority of that weight's in that back leg. And then I want you to shift towards that right knee, pressing that right knee over the foot if you can. Heel still down, and pull the toes as strong as you can. You're really only looking for about 1 to 2 breaths in that hold. And then rock back, reset. Add as much tension as we can through that heel, and then pulling that big toe up. If you can't quite feel your shin turning on, back off the stretch a hair, so maybe not go as far and then try to actively pull the toes. You'll feel that shin turn on a little bit more. You're going to get really the benefits in that Achilles from activating the front of that leg so the back of your ankle can relax. Much like when we stretch out our hip flexors, we need our glutes to take over, and vice versa. It's really hard to make everything go passive. You tend to just fall over when that happens. We've got time for about 1 more good rep. If you're with me. And relax. All right, we're gonna pretty much change the angle on those ankles. All right, so let's go ahead and come to kneel position. Feet are gonna be flat on the ground, top of feet are gonna be flat on the ground. And we're just gonna go to that saddle sit, or thunderbolt pose is also what I realize this is called as well. We're gonna sit here for about the next minute until this class runs up. We're just gonna work both directions of those ankles. As we get towards the end of class, just want to remind y'all that all these classes should be done at your pace. If you ever feel any pain, please back it down. If there's a movement that you don't just doesn't agree with you, not that you don't agree with it, shoot us a message. We can show you some variations. So if that movement comes up again, you're not forced to try to challenge yourself through any pain. We don't want that. And remember, this is all about you, not really what we're telling you to do. All right.